Hello everybody, it's Friday night and it is time for the Weekender once again. And on this week's show, Ben gets chuffed by chorfs, Justin gets stuck into some K-pop, and I check out some clandestine operations for the Axis. On top of that, we also have a £50 voucher from Wayland Games. If you want to be in with a chance to win, pop a comment below this video here on the YouTubes. Now sit back, relax, because your weekend starts here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekender. I'm joined this week by Ben and Justin.
Hello.
Well done. To bring you on a hobby meander through the last 7 days. Or more. Who knows?
Yeah.
Before I see
7 days plus one.
Yeah. Before I see somebody attempted to steal our thunder.
Oh, yeah. Sticking their shoulder at the same time as ours.
Oh, yeah.
Why I order?
I'm just saying, shouldn't do that to people who know how to make parcel bombs. Just, you get one warning. Don't do it again.
Those mail order trolls won't know what.
they'll know.
Well, they'll know.
I'll make sure they know.
Yeah, it's just on the inside, there's a steel plate with the engraving from Jerry with love.
With love. All of the love, all of the time. It was a busy week for me last week. Did you have fun without me? Was it magical? Was everything
It was
great?
chaos.
I think so. We did. I think we did things that you'd probably been quite interested in, Jerry, but there we go.
Yeah.
I've seen the running order.
Surprisingly, Jerry, we got through the show a lot quicker.
Right.
Wow.
So just saying, you know,
Yeah,
we might be
I just
limping along.
That's because people just sat there like stone-faced trolls while Ben did the talking and then moved on.
I tried to engage.
Also, I had absolutely no historical knowledge, so that...
So you chose stuff that Jerry would like and then had nothing to say.
I learned a lot about On Bloody Ground, and that was
you did. I seen that.
There we go.
Because I was in the premiere. And I was going, does anybody know what this rule system's like? And I'm going, I do. Yeah. Has anybody played it? Me? I have.
Oh, dear.
I must get my copy. I've lent a copy of one of the rule sets, the Normans, to young Lloyd Esquire. I must get that back off him.
Okay. Yes.
Because I imagine that'll never get played. But, you know, hey ho, there you go. This is what happens. I just assumed it was payback for all the stuff I did that you would like while you were off on your holidays.
Yeah.
All that Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah.
So, fair exchange is no robbery, I think they say. Isn't that it? Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. In the industry, there's always going to be something new and shiny that we're all going to enjoy.
Very true.
That is true. And shall we have a look at some of that now? It's time for the news.
Coming to you from the center of Northwestern Europe. Covering board games, war games, card games, and all that you love. It's the news.
All right then, Ben. So we have a ton of fun for certain people.
Yeah, there's the more news after this, where we'll dive into some other bits and pieces. But obviously, last week was quite a big set of reveals. An hour and a half's worth of reveals.
Wow.
From the folks at Games Workshop for the Worlds of Warhammer. And I suppose we'll start off with the big thing that they announced, which was a brand new faction. So yeah, it's tiny things with big hats, and essentially then a big thing, I suppose, yeah. Or medium-sized hats, I suppose you'd say now. Because the Chaos Dwarfs, the classic models from Warhammer Fantasy Battles and stuff, are now back, but they're in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So we got a huge amount of reveals for this. I thought they were just going to show off the army set, and that was it. But they dove in and they showed off everything that's coming for the range. Apart from a few little bits and pieces like their sort of terrain set and that kind of thing. We got a big bunch of miniatures that they showed off. So we'll start with the army set, which is led by the War Despot, as you can see there. Very classically Chaos Dwarf, I'd say. Still got that kind of Babylonian-esque style beard going on.
Yeah.
Still got reasonably big hats at the
Some
tusks.
form of hammer-styled glaive.
Well,
Loves
this
his
is an
hammer, but he
interesting-
needs a cutting edge.
Well, we'll come to hammers later on. But one of the things that we learnt about the Chaos Dwarfs, or as they are now known, the Helsmiths of Hashut, being their
Helmet.
bull god, is that they were the slice of dwarven society within the Mortal Realms that didn't turn into the Fire Slayers, didn't turn into the Crowdrun Overlords, so they didn't go up into the skies and they didn't go into the volcanoes, and they didn't become the Dispossessed who find their way into the ranks of the Cities of Sigmar, but instead they pledged themselves to Hashut and decided to sort of squirrel themselves away to build and sort of craft items of war that could be used by the forces of chaos. We have seen some of their forces already popping up. There was one single Chaos Dwarden that came up as part of the Zardron, as they're called now, as part of a Warcry warband way back when. And then we also saw the Hobgrots for the Cruel Boys, who got weapons that were made by the Helsmiths.
Sure.
So, yeah, lots of stuff had been sort of smattered through the lore for these guys arriving. So as I say, led by the War Despot, which is pretty badass, as you'll see. Then you've got your sort of elite infantry that make up the core of your Helsmiths force. In this case, they are called the Infernal Cohort, as you can see there. Big slab-like shields, similarly big slab-like weapons. You can arm your Infernal Cohort with either swords and shields or spears and shields, whichever way you want to go. You'll see that you also have the command options included in that box set as well. So you've got the standard bearers and the musician, bare-chested, as you'd expect,
Well,
banging a massive gong.
Yeah, one per goblinoid who has just been put to work instead of turned into dinner.
Yeah. And the interesting thing that we learned about these is they sort of delved into a little bit. Very true. Yes, they still have them. They have plenty of whips. The majority of their weapons, especially for champions and sort of big leaders and things like that, or elite infantry, are powered by demonic energy. So you see those sort of
glue.
Yes. So as someone on YouTube, Eons of Battle, said, the Brussels sprouts that they've got attached to their weapons are where they channel and sort of coalesce demonic energies so that they can power their weapons. Now, obviously, that's never going to go wrong.
No.
Clearly. Trapping demons is always a surefire thing and nothing bad will ever happen. But
Just ask Malice Darkblade.
Exactly, yes. It's taken over. Oh, no.
So hang on. Yeah. So these are the actual Scottish faction, because instead of finding somewhere nice to live, they've went, hey lads, I found somewhere even more apocalypsy to live.
Wow. That's harsh on Scotland.
That's really hard. You ever visit Scotland? It's lovely.
Oh, I know. No, I have family that still live there.
Now, Grimsby.
Grimsby.
As well as the elite infantry, you're also going to get some of their new artillery. Now, alas, there are no trains, but we have stuff that I guess is stuff that you might mount on the back of a train, so you can still imagine that they might have trains somewhere in their massive mountain fortresses. But you get the likes of the Tormentor Bombard here, which can be built as an alternative kit, which we'll see later as well. But a decent piece of artillery, which is what Chaos Dwarves in the old world and stuff were known for anyway.
Rockets,
their hell cannons and things like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, so a really nice addition there. On that front, again, powered by demonic energy. And then the piece de resistance, I suppose, for a lot of people, but also a little bit of a Marmite thing as well, was the addition of some big clanking war machines. So you have the Dominator engine here, which has been fashioned to look like Hashut's Bullfather visage, and can be armed with either those big cannons or those massive maces for smashing people.
I think
I prefer the mace version.
Yeah, I immediately thought, that looks like Hashut's father, that does. That's what when I came up. How it straight in my head.
I'm digging the ranged variant.
Yeah.
I mean, I am well on board for this one. I like the design.
Yeah, it's a really nice faction design, I think, in the round. There are a few other pieces for this that we'll get to that I'm not so sure on, but in essence, I think the army set is pretty cool. But that's the army set. That's what's going to be available as the sort of launch box for them.
In a bigger box.
Yeah, so you get a big army set, which I think is the next picture, which contain all of those miniatures as well as all of your War Scroll cards. You'll also get your fancy limited edition battle tome that goes with them. So a nice little set there to get you started. Obviously, you don't have to pick this up. It'll all be available later down the line anyway. So.
That's... from a purely aesthetic point of view, the fact that that's a dual kit
Yes, they can do both, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have put half of them with spears and half of them with sword and board.
I would have
so
done
you
as well.
knew.
Yes. Yeah.
But, anyway, I digress.
In addition to that, as I said, they dove into the rest of the stuff that's coming out for the Helsmiths of Hashut. So we got a handful of new characters as well. So you have your demon smiths. So these are essentially your foul sorcerers that you have amongst the ranks of the Helsmiths, the Zardron. As people will typically know, dwarves don't tend to, I was going to say a rude word there, screw with magic. But in this case, obviously, the Helsmiths of Hashut have sort of delved into arcane sorcery and chaos shenanigans. And so they draw on the magic of chaos to do all of their infernal work. You'll also see that he has a really nice sort of walking lectern there. I think it's a really nice touch that mirrors his own sort of clawed hand too, which is a cool touch. And another nice new character as well.
Like the thing.
So draw the demon in, stuff into cage, burn demon.
Yes.
Do stuff. Got it.
And then it gets its
very
own
dwarfy.
10 years down the line. You also have, and this is where we got to talk about hammers, the Ashen Elder. So typically the Helsmiths of Hashut don't really use hammers as weapons because it reminds them of when they were actually nice dwarves and the other dwarven sort of races and something like that. But the Ashen Elder uses a hammer because he likes to stick one to his other former Duardin brothers and sisters. So he uses a hammer. Sorry, go on, Justin.
It looks a little weedy.
So he uses the hammer, dips it in the blood of dead Duardin.
Sure.
And then charges it full of demon energy. So that's why he's using that as a sort of screw you to his fellow Duardin. Interestingly, with these guys as well, you get a little bit more of the background of the Helsmiths. So you know how I mentioned earlier, they use demonic energies to power pretty much all of their things. It does start to take a toll on them. So as you can see on that guy, he's got half a face that's starting to sort of petrify.
He's a crispy critter.
Yeah. So as they use more and more of this magic and this demonic energy, it starts to slowly petrify their bodies, start to turn them into stone effectively as they go through the process of sort of tapping into this arcane power. So it'll be really fascinating to see where they go with that lore-wise. And if there's any sort of cost to using some of their spells potentially in their sort of mechanics would be quite a cool touch.
Do
I think,
you
as well.
remember a few years ago now, GW had a sketch of the Durden for 40k, whatever they were going to call them, Demiurge.
The Demiurge, the Leagues of Votani type guys, or
no, before them,
but specifically the Demiurge.
The Demiurge,
yeah,
and they looked like rock-faced dwarves.
They did, yeah.
And I'm just wondering if somebody went, "Well, we're never doing those. What if we repurpose
back into that?" Quite possibly, and carried that through. You also have a special character in the farm of Urak-Tar, the first of the demon smiths.
Well, he would be.
And again, he has that sort of petrification across his back where he's slowly being taken over by demonic energies. But that means that he's able to just harness all sorts of crazy spells and all kind of things like that. Now, this is the first of the miniatures that I'm like, meh about, because I think the bull just looks a little bit too much like a toy.
Yes.
But I think that might just be the paint scheme.
It's because they've gone with a bronze paint job on it.
Yeah. I'd have to wait until see if someone painted it in a different style.
He looks like he's come screaming out of the ranks of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm okay with the design. I like that really angular look to some of the mechanical pieces in here.
Yeah, it certainly fits the geometric nature of sort of using dwarves and that kind of aesthetic. I think it'll be interesting to see what community people do with this when they come to painting these to see if it creates a different idea.
A great Taurus in the roof loft that I've not assembled yet.
There you go.
Who
would have thought it, eh?
Jerry has something from the history books.
But in addition to that, Urak-Tar can instead be built as a regular demon smith on the back of an infernal Taurus, and you can choose from either a male or female member of the Helsmiths of Hashut to put on the back of it.
I do like the jade paint job a bit better.
Yeah. I think the darker tone to that works a little bit better. I think potentially. Yeah. I think otherwise it's just a bit too shiny.
I think the matte look to it, you can really see some of the details a bit better.
I can see the details and I'm not liking them.
Okay.
I think it's because it's mechanical, but it's not.
Mhm.
There's no way those plates will fold.
And sort of
It's a thing
intersect
that's
with
been
each
made to only be made in one position. It doesn't look like a thing that exists that is moving.
Fair.
There's no hinges, in which case, I don't know, maybe it's living metal or whatever, but even then, flat angle
it's a bit
meeting
too cartoonified then.
a leg, the thigh to the knee to the ankle. There's no pivoting on it, especially noticeable on this side where that bends.
Yeah.
You know,
There's one thing that's come up about a lot of the stuff that you see from
even the
GW
wings,
nowadays,
I think, as well.
is that a fair amount of their stuff is painted very clean, and they paint it that way and very defined, so that when you're viewing the miniature, you can see what it looks like and all the details, and that's fine. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it matches with the aesthetic and the style of a force. They've just done it so you can see the model effectively. But
I get what Jerry's saying with the actual anatomy of how the machine would go together.
It may not be a machine. It may mean it to be a living, like a golem type thing.
Yeah.
But again, if it's, you've got a twist in this, so it doesn't make sense to me. Either you make it as a living creature, in which case go nuts, or if you're going to do something that's sort of mechanical, then it needs to have the realism of the thing it is, if that makes sense.
So it actually has to be like hard struts and shapes that then have to turn and twist around each other.
Yeah,
rather than twisting the actual component.
The fact that this twists and then that concertinas, but then you've also got bends in it. It just that doesn't parse with me as far as things goes.
Makes sense.
Either make a mechanical bull or have a real bull. This halfway house, I'm not a fan of.
We also got some more of their infantry, so you need some ranged options, and that comes
very short range.
Of these infernal razors. So they either get the option to run around with those sort of like hand cannons, for want of a better word, blunderbusses. In fact, I think they actually are literally called blunderbusses.
They should be 12-inch range, automatically hit full rank.
Decimated. They can also rock around with effectively demonic flamethrowers if you prefer to go down that route as well. So there's two different ways for you to build those.
Same as the last dwarf kit. Remember they had those, the dragon...
Like the Iron Drakes.
Yes, Iron Drakes and Dragonfire Breath flamethrowers, whatever they're called.
Which I have quite a few of under my desk right now.
Sweet.
We also got some Hobgoblins, for want of a better word. The Hobgrot Vandals, because of course they had to stick a Z on it for copyright reasons. So you've got a new set of these folks popping in. Now you will see that obviously the Zardron, the Helsmiths, don't trust them with demonic weapons, and so none of them have them. They also decided you can make your own armor if you think you've got enough scrap to do it, and so that's where they come through with that. So they're all sort of wearing their sort of classic tunics, and then they have a few bits and pieces strapped to them for use on the battlefield. They're essentially going to be a big mob that you throw out to effectively get murdered, so the rest of your Zardrons can walk forward and kill everybody after the fact. But it's nice to see, obviously, that they've carried through the themes and the ideas of the Chaos Dwarfs.
Yes.
Working alongside the likes of Hobgoblins from Warhammer gone by.
Slaves.
I
mean, the armor design on these looks as if they've just been left to pick through the ruins of battlefields, and they've just been picking up, actual dwarven armor and going, well, that bit works, that bit works, that bit's crap, that bit works. Okay.
Makes sense to me. And then it wouldn't be Chaos Dwarfs without Bull Centaurs, and you have two flavors of those to dive into.
Flavor.
So you have these ones, which are the Bull Centaurs themselves. So they've been blessed by Hashut with the bodies of bulls morphed around their old Duardin bodies, their Zardron bodies, and they carry those massive demonically enhanced maces that they will be smashing people to pieces with. So I think that's a really nice kit. I like the posing of all of those models as well. They look dynamic and cool.
Just got to get out of the way. Two rib cages.
Got to get out of the way.
Two rib
cages.
No
red flags.
No, two rib cages. Yeah.
Multiple hearts. Just like Doctor Who. Or Space Marines. And then you also have a twist on that with the Anointed Sentinels. So whilst the Bull Centaurs are your aggressive version of that unit, of that type of unit, the Anointed Sentinels are your defensive element, because in the fluff, their sort of whole focus is that they have been so blessed by Hashut that they are now the guardians of his temples. And so they hang around those, defending them from incursions and all that kind of thing. And so you see them with a different style of weapon, but those really nice full kind of bullfather masks. But I think both of those are looking pretty badass. I think the only thing that I'm not necessarily on board with these guys is the big character. That's the only model that I'm like, with. But the rest of it, I'm kind of on board with. So
I will say the Anointed do have that temple guard vibe. Before you even said it, I was thinking these look like they would be guarding a holy site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again,
out.
Yeah, obviously.
If that's how you make the measure, Jerry, sure.
Standard.
One thing I really liked about what they did is that they clearly looked at this and thought, well, if we're going to bring Chaos Dwarfs into Warhammer Age of Sigmar, we need to make them feel like Chaos Dwarfs to get the people who enjoyed them from back in day on board with them in the Mortal Realms. So a lot of that aesthetic has followed through into what we're seeing with these particular miniatures for the Helsmiths. So I think it's actually quite a triumph, I suppose, for Games Workshop design. They didn't decide to throw everything out of the window and start from scratch, which is quite cool. And that's the other variant, by the way, of the artillery.
Yeah, it had to be rockets.
So, like rockets.
They never hit the target.
No, but they cause people to run away in fear. That's the main reason.
I wonder if I could sneak in like a converted Toyota truck to make it look a little fantasy.
A technical, yeah.
See why not? It's interesting you say they didn't throw away, because that's very distinctly Chaos Dwarf. That is Chorf from the old days, the White Dwarfy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The most recent incarnation of the Chorfs was round helmeted and fairly different via the medium of Resins and Forge World.
Yes, yeah.
Which gives me hope that maybe someday the Chorfs will make the old world and they'll use the Tamerkan dwarfs, which look noticeably different, as the style, because they don't like to cross-populate anymore, because they don't like people buying one army and using it in two different systems. They'd much rather you bought two armies.
I play Chaos Demons. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the weird one. You can
Fair.
Put them all on square bases. You could use them at 40k as well. But I do like the fact that they've gone back to the old second edition.
Yeah,
second edition. Fourth edition.
The earlier incarnation of the Chaos Dwarfs.
Fourth edition of Chaos Dwarves, where they went for the Babylonian look. Because obviously the very early stuff was like little mini Chaos Warriors, which look great, to be fair. It has to be said. I do like the Tamerkan versions.
So, they were very gribbly. They were very nice. Yeah.
They were. Oh, the book's so far away behind Judge Dredd there. I'm not getting it. Just there.
As a sneaky bonus to the Worlds of the Mortal Realms, there was also an additional announcement for Warhammer Underworlds fans, which is probably me, and probably just me, maybe. But we got an expansion to Warhammer Underworlds in the core box with the Spitewood. Now, this is following on the narrative for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, where the fighting has moved from the realm of fire to the realm of Gairan, the realm of life. And if you like the look of the Helsmiths, but you don't particularly want to dive in and paint up an entire army of them, and you just want to play around with the miniatures and see what you think of them, then you can instead pick up Warhammer Underworlds, because it comes with 2 warbands, one of which are the Helsmiths, which we'll come to in a second. But leading the way, we have Kurnoth's Heralds. Now, within the sort of lore of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, there's kind of like a little bit of a split amongst the effectively wood elves. So you have those that worship Alariel as the sort of goddess of life and all that kind of thing. And then you have the others that worship Kurnoth, who currently, I believe, if my knowledge is correct, is buried deep beneath a forest somewhere and saps the blood of the living down into him slowly over time. When all of his dryads go out and kill people, and he'll eventually come back and cause, all untold chaos. But he's pretty badass.
It's good to have army, I suppose.
Yeah. And he was put there by Alariel, I think, if I'm right, because you're like, you do too much damage.
I'm seeing a common agreement between at least these two gods where they are going to centaurize their people.
Well,
Sorry,
yes.
we're going to chop you at the waist, put you on top of an animal. It's going to be great. Don't worry, you're going to love it.
Yes. It's a shared appreciation of half and half style beasts.
Hybridization gone wrong.
We had previously seen the Konothi come up in Beastgrave a couple of editions ago. Well, many moons ago for Warhammer Underworlds. But they're now back with that new set, which comes with 3 miniatures. You also then have the Blood of the Bull, which is your twist on the Helsmiths of Hashut, dropped into Warhammer Underworlds. The kind of lore behind this is that that particular war despot that you see at the front there, that lady, she led her army of Helsmiths into Gairan to burn down the forest, and the Konothi launched an ambush which killed pretty much her entire army, apart from these guys. And so she is now waiting for reinforcements, and her ultimate game is to burn and destroy everything she can in revenge for the Konothi killing all of her soldiers. But a nice little kit there. And again, it does something that I think Warhammer Underworlds does very, very well, which is it realizes the ideas and themes of a faction in a small group of miniatures. So if you are tempted by something like, the Helsmiths of Hashut, you can dive in, pick something up like this, and sort of have fun with the paint schemes and see whether or not you like the faction before diving deeper in. And of course, you get something for a smaller, quick game at the same time, which is always good. So,
Fancy.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, you can use all of these in the Chaos Dwarf army anyway.
Yep. Drop them in you could drop them in individually as champions for various units if you wanted to. And as is the case with a lot of stuff for Warhammer Underworld, it does tend to eventually migrate over into Warhammer Age of Sigmar later down the line anyway. They have also said, even though the game is relatively unsupported at the moment, really, with new releases, that the Helsmiths of Hashut will have rules for playing games of Warcry. So if you actually like that skirmish game as well, you can dive in and use them for that too. So there'll be a free PDF, I think they said, for that, which is quite nice.
Fancy.
So yes, lots of stuff for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I really like the Helsmiths, apart from 1 or 2 minis in there. And I think there's quite a few people out there who are going to be very drawn to these. I can't wait to see what they actually do with the regular dwarves for the Cities of Sigmar, if they do anything, I suppose. But that might be where I go if I get my dwarf fix beyond my Fire Slayers.
I thought you had betrayed it all and went to the elves.
Well, no, not yet. We'll see. More about that our next LBS. Actually. So yes, a new box set that comes with the 2 warbands, 2 new rivals decks, so you can play out of the box, a new board, new tokens as well, so you can play slightly different style games. You get like pools of Aqua Gyranis and also runes and things that will give you extra points and also heal your units during gameplay. So it's a lot more about positioning and stuff there as well, which is quite cool. So you will need to pick up the core set to get access to loads of extra stuff, but essentially you could probably pick this up individually and play games with that, to be honest. Just find the rules online for Warhammer Underworlds and play using that. There we go. You get all the tokens and stuff, so there's no problem there.
Sorted. Get your Aqua Velvet.
Some nice stuff on that front. And Aqua Gyranis, fun fact, is also used as a currency within Warhammer Age of Sigmar in some of the different realms because it's so sought after. There you go. The more you know.
Ding, 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 ding.
So much useless knowledge. They have also collected together a bunch of warbands from a previous edition of Warhammer Underworlds. So similar to what they did with the release set of these things for the new version of Warhammer Underworlds, you can buy a box set that comes with 4 warbands for a particular Grand Alliance, be it Order, Chaos, Death, or Destruction. You get the original plastic kits. You also get the new War Scroll card for that unit, and all of their cards for using them in the game as well, so their character cards as well. Because Warhammer Underworlds now uses the rival deck system, you can then essentially buy any rivals deck, plug it in with any warband, and you're done. But this is going to be a great way for people who have potentially missed out on these warbands in the past to get your hands on these older miniatures, or those Skaven to use in Wartime, because that's what everybody did. And those Thricefold Discord at the bottom got used for Possessed in Wartime as well. So using it for all sorts of different things. But you can go get your hands on all of these. If you already do have all of these models, Then they're also just doing a sort of separate card pack. So if you have all of these old warbands, you simply buy that card pack and it comes with all the cards without the miniatures. So say if you have to rebuy the same plastic kits to get your hands on the cards for things you already own. So there we go. So a nice little touch there as well, which is quite good. But yes, lots of stuff there for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And I got to say, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, still a damn good game. If you've not played it, give it a go. Spearhead, brilliant. No reason not to give it a shot. So find some friends who have armies. And
don't give it a shot. Don't shoot anything.
No, shoot everything. Talking of shooting, talking of shooting things, we also had some news for the worlds of the Grimdark Future and Warhammer 40,000, and also a little tiny bit of things for 30k, which we'll get to in a bit. But we start off with the return of more Space Marines, because you need more Space Marines in your life.
Sure.
And they've done something that they promised they would do for a very long time. They have come back and they have remastered and redesigned a lot of the classic chapter masters and characters from the various first founding chapters of the Space Marines.
Crossing that Rubicon Primaris seems a lot less dangerous these days.
Yep, it's basically just like getting a jab. We start with Vulcan Hestan, who is obviously the chapter master for the Salamanders, who is continuing his endeavors throughout the galaxy to find the relics of his Primarch. He's already carrying a few of them already, but he's effectively doing the Antiques Roadshow or the Antiques Road Trip of
American Pickers, man.
Yes, all that. And you get a brand new miniature for him, which doesn't deviate that much from the original version of him. Although, of course, they've changed the style of him rather having his spear over his head. He's got it to the side, which is kind of cool. And you can obviously now see Vulcan Hestan's face for the first time, which is a new thing indeed. But a brand new miniature for him, which is quite cool.
Just sorry it wasn't based on Heston Blumenfield.
Yeah. He's got a little tiny pot of foam that tastes like, I don't know, strawberries on a windy day or something.
I do wonder if the Primaris salamanders all hate each other as well.
Maybe.
Is it a learned thing, or is it just, part of the gene seed?
Yeah, there's a lot of hate to go around in the 41st millennium. So
that's true.
I wonder why.
Yeah. We also have someone that my friend was particularly enamored by, which is the return of Darnath Lysander for the Imperial Fists, rocking around with the Fist of Dawn, the coolest and most comical hammer in all of Warhammer.
But he does not have the magical pain glove.
Yeah. But a big new version of him that stands head and shoulders, as you might expect, over most of the other Imperial Fists around him, who are already pretty chunky boys. But again, they've not really messed with the pose for him, really, or the design. They've sort of kept it kind of classic, but just primarisized it effectively.
Yeah, bringing it into scale.
Increase scale by 15%.
Exactly. And again, you get the option to give him a Terminator helmet if you want to give him some additional protection, and you just can't be bothered with painting faces. So there we go.
Life's much easier if you don't.
It is. It very much is. Lenses are easier than eyes. We then move over to the Raven Guard, who have a little bit of a twist. So in the background lore for the Raven Guard, Kayvan Shrike has stepped aside as the chapter master, and instead the first captain, Aethon Shan, has been promoted to the rank of chapter master as the Master of Shadows for the Raven Guard. I think this is possibly the coolest miniature of the set, but I also totally get that he is a mega edgelord.
I mean, I think my favorite option is the one with the little hood and no mask.
Yes, I like
very nice personality to that one.
Yeah, Cypher wants his style back.
Yes, yes, he does.
He's definitely listening to Nine Inch Nails in his headset as he's walking around or floating through the shadows.
Come on, a little 3 days grace.
Yeah, but a gorgeous miniature with those really cool sort of like draped tabards coming down the side with the runes on them, which is really nice.
Like his little tiny gun drones.
His little gun servitors is very cool.
Donuts around him.
Mm-hmm. But a nice new miniature for him as well. And again, obviously pushing forward the story, which is quite interesting for the 40k world as well. And then probably the chapter that nobody really gives us a crap about, but it exists, is the Iron Hands. because you have the Iron Warriors on the other side of things, who are really cool, and then you have the Imperial Fists, who are super awesome, and then in the middle you have the kind of Iron Hands.
I'm not going to lie, I am not angry about the Tetsubo.
No, I think that's a really nice touch. They've even called it a power Tetsubo, so
good,
which is cool.
Good. I hope it can break horses' legs.
Yeah, but this is Canok Var for the Iron Hands. If you care about the Iron Hands, I'm sorry, Iron Hands fans, but nobody cares about the Iron Hands.
Don't worry, there are no fans.
The idea behind him is that he has so bionicled himself effectively, not the little tiny put together kits.
Yes.
But that the only thing that's left of him that is potentially flesh and blood is his left eye.
Stop it.
Part of his face, yes. But
he's just an eye on a stalk with a brain in a jar.
But rocking around with a big new Stormbolter, as you can see there. And you've got a little tiny servitor who's putting together a little tiny schematic of something that he needs to do.
Yeah, I love the little holographic projection.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. Something that we've seen a lot on various miniatures for things like the Gene Stealer cults and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, what on earth is this? It's a White Scar character on a bike? What? They're not allowed to. They have to walk everywhere. Wow. This is weird.
He was on sabbatical to the Imperial Palace, was talking to the custodes, saw them and went, I want me one of those. They said no. He went, are you sure about that? And then 2 days later, they went, where did one of our jet bikes go?
And he's there.
So he's brought it back and went, all this fancy stuff, I'm just going to strip all that off.
Exactly. So this is Subeden Khan, who is your new leader for your White Scars. Comes with his badass power lance out to the side for carving people up. He's got some really nice details on his grav bike, as they call it here as well. So on the other side of the model, which you can't see here, he's got a sort of like sword and shield sort of strapped to the side of it. You know, sort of that classic kind of like Mongolian style warrior sort of riding around. And then packed into the front of that as well is an Onslaught Gatling cannon for mowing people down. But I think he probably enjoys the
I had noticed that, yeah.
With this.
I do have to wonder, firing that on a gravity-based vehicle, wouldn't the recoil like slow you down?
Oh, he puts the engines to like 12 and goes forward as quickly as possible, so it's all fine. So
don't worry about
otherwise
physics.
He will just go backwards.
Physics ceased to exist in the 38th millennium.
That is true.
I see.
That is true. We also got the announcement that they're going to be working on some new combat patrols for each of the chapters that we've just seen. So you have one for the Salamanders there, which is
the Mario Kart. No, thank you.
Nobody likes the Invader ATV. You also have Adrax Agatone from the paint collection at B&Q there, looking very nice.
It's very harsh.
But he's there. There's also a new one for the Imperial Fists. These have all been designed to fit the theme, obviously, of each of the different chapters. So you have a lot of fire, obviously. In the Salamanders, in the Imperial Fist, you have a lot of heavy bolters. Big guns.
Not enough
simple,
heavy weapons.
Like it.
Yeah. You've also got a new one for the Raven Guard as well, which comes with all of their sneaky fellows running around on jet bikes and all that kind of stuff.
Sword ups. Let's go.
Yeah. And your sneaky Dreadnought, because Dreadnoughts can be sneaky apparently.
Invictor Tactical Warsuit is a beast.
Yeah. You then have the Iron Hands one, which let's just move on from this one. I mean, it's crap. Anyway, but no one cares about the Iron Hands.
Wait. So, who thought this was a good idea?
I know, it's a terrible combat patrol. It looks so bad.
It's going to be the most boring game ever. I have 2 heavy weapons. I'm going to put one on either flank. My guys are going to stand in the middle, and I'm just going to stand here and shoot you. Great game, guys.
It's because nobody likes the Iron Hands.
Then why even do it? Let them die.
Yeah. And then you have one for the White Scars as well. So this is the combat patrol where you'll first be able to get Subeden Khan in it.
The other one, he's the only one that doesn't, or that has actually snuck into a combat patrol.
It's because the only other characters that they have for the White Scars don't come on bikes. So this guy can now actually ride around with the bikes that you see there as well, alongside a transport and a set of assault intercessors for you to drop into your game.
Honestly, I'm amazed they couldn't do an upgrade sprue for something like the chaplain on bike.
Yes, I mean, you would
just trade it out and let them have it.
Yeah, but there we go.
But this isn't bad.
Yeah, all those combat patrols coming out as well in the near future. You will obviously be able to get Subeden Khan separately, so you don't have to buy that combat patrol if you don't want it. And you
honestly, if I'm doing it, I'm buying that combat patrol.
Well, yeah. It's also probably a good addition to any White Scars army you already have anyway.
Yeah,
so
clearly.
And combat patrols tend to be a saving, regardless anyway. So
yeah, yes. Why? I don't know why.
Fire the blue shells.
I don't completely hate that. But isn't it just an attack bike?
Yes. It's a poor excuse for an attack bike.
Yeah, they've looked at Mario. I've actually seen someone paint it up as Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
Okay. Green Mario.
Green Mario and red Mario.
Yeah. Oh, Green Mario.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Anyway.
Lots of stuff for regular Space Marines. But then if we wind back the clock, a fun new thing for fans of the Horus Heresy, because your bookshelves were already creaking with the mountain of Horus Heresy books that you already bought. And so Black Library decided, hey, we need to break your shelves. So they're working on a new multi-novel series of books for you to dive into, as the Scouring is going to be covered in a new selection of books by the library.
Hasn't the Shire suffered enough?
Where's Sharky? God damn it. Yeah. So yes, the first book in the series, Ashes of the Imperium, is going to be coming out later this year, so not long to wait for that one, written by Chris Wright, as you can see there. And as they said, will be the start of a brand new series of novels for the Horus Heresy, or the Horus Heresy Plus, I suppose you'd say, charting the exploits of the Loyalists as they hunt down what remains of the traitors before they vanish off into the Eye of Terror. And I'm sure this is going to be one of those series where we're going to see a lot of those kind of questions answered. So sort of what's that transition from the Emperor being, the Emperor through to him being on the Golden Throne? What happens to the various Primarchs and sort of their stories of how they went off into the sort of nether effectively. So we'll learn more about Jagatai Khan, we'll learn more about Russ and the rest of them as well. The fate of Dawn and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see where it all comes together. You can see Valdus there in the background looking particularly annoyed, as he tends to be.
See, I always feel bad for Dorn, because while the rest of his brothers go out to hunt down the traitors, he's told, no, you stay home. You guard this. You stay home, you guard this. Don't worry about it. We've got it covered.
Yeah. So it'll be fascinating to see how this all comes together. They have said that the series will cover books about the Loyalists, books about the traitors, but also books about humanity and how humanity now, or at least view the legions in that transition period, because effectively it's all their fault. And so it's looking at how humanity is viewing them during this transition period and sort of where they view them politically and sort of all the intrigue that goes behind that as well. Obviously, we all know where it ends up, but
yeah, but during this period, you're probably going to see the solidification of the ecclesiarchy and it beginning to take power within imperial society, which could be interesting.
The imperial cult and all that kind of thing. So
most of that comes after the Emperor's dead, though.
Yeah. So he's still slowly dying at the moment.
Yeah.
But there we go.
But during the heresy, you did see the beginnings of it, the seeds of it.
Yeah, very true.
So I'll be curious to see how it sort of begins to interweave its way into the regular day of the society.
Yeah. I also like the artwork. I think it's very sort of classic. You could imagine this being a Renaissance painting of two Roman leaders talking while the rest of the Senate looks on at them and stuff.
Or plays air guitar.
Or plays air guitar.
A2, Billyman. A2.
You can't tell me he's not playing air guitar for that.
I'll give you that.
He has checked out and he's just going, there's
the air guitar championships in Copenhagen next week and he's practicing like Billy O.
But the Blood Angel is just there going, I have other shit to do. My dad just died.
Exactly. Well, I can hear screams all the time.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, there's something very angry is happening with me right now. I'm not sure what it is. We haven't figured it out yet.
Take a spoonful of concrete and harden up. Yeah. Interesting thing, though, for the series is the new RPG, the 40k / Horus Heresy RPG from 7, which interweaves the fact that people have gone, oh, what's happening here? While Marines appear and suddenly devastate half their landscape, and they're the good guys. Interesting. If you fancy running the Horus Heresy campaign as the RPG, it'll give a lot of background and
it will
flavor an idea of how you can view humanity's point of view for what the superhumans are doing, destroying their galaxy.
I will say Cubicle 7 do an exceptional job of expanding the lore into all those tiny little corners within the 40k and Age of Sigmar and all that kind of thing. Like, Warhammer Age of Sigmar has been made all the better because of those Soulbound books. And so I think the same thing goes for a lot of the stuff they've done for 40k and in their various guises as well. So check it out.
I do think that's one of the key differences for Heresy and like the more modern day 40k, because we know where things are ending, but in modern day 40k, you're exploring through like a moment in time. It's not really moving that far forward.
True.
During the Heresy, you're seeing a continuous progression of a story.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this comes about, and hopefully you've already ordered some new IKEA bookshelves for all of those Horus Heresy novels.
Break out the Calyx.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if you fit it out just right, the book just about slips in, and then when the shelf sags, it sags onto the top of the books, and it bears its own weight. See, engineering.
There you go. Yeah.
No.
Extensive use of library use there, Justin.
I never, ever want my books to be laying on the books below them. Jesus. Oh my God.
To cap things off, and going back to the grimdark future, and also to save Jerry's sanity, we have a new set coming out for Kill Team. Don't worry, this is the last of the Games Workshop news, and then we're moving on.
Yeah, it was kind of a mega info dump.
I'm just here for the premiere tonight.
Yeah. So we have a new Deathwatch Kill Team. The original Kill Team is back in action and kicking ass and taking names. The Kill Team game shifts over to a new environment, and we're seeing a fight through a tomb world in this particular one. If anybody has an old White Dwarf, there was a really badass battle report where the Imperial Guard were attacking a tomb world complex, and that was going on outside, whilst inside they were playing a game of Kill Team where a bunch of Deathwatch Marines were trying to destroy the heart of the tomb world. It was freaking awesome. Super cool. It's probably somewhere on my shelf back there. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, so this set comes with a new set of Deathwatch, as well as a new set of Necrons. We start with the Deathwatch. You get 11 miniatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 miniatures in the set, which can be built in different ways, as you might imagine a Deathwatch Kill Team can be. You then choose 5 of your 11 to bring with you on your Kill Team, because obviously Space Marines, and you kick ass and take names. You get a Deathwatch captain in there alongside everyone else that you would expect when it comes to specialists. You also get a heckload, I was going to swear again, a heckload of shoulder pads in the set, so you can fit them to match a variety of different chapters, because the whole thing around the Deathwatch is that it brings Space Marines from various chapters all together to fight to rid the galaxy of Xenos. You have some very cool stuff in there, like there's a red scorpion down there on the far right. He's always on the far right. He doesn't move. In the top, you also have a successor to the Space Wolves, which has been very rarely seen, right in the middle. Sorry, the guy with the hammer. As well as everything that you expect.
A buff wolf as well.
Yeah.
Because I can see his wolf.
And then you also have Imperial Fists, Ultramarines, Salamanders, all sorts of other chapters that you might expect, all slotted in here. So if you have a favorite chapter or chapters, and you want to make a really cool dynamic kill team, you have the options to do that as well.
A flesh terror.
I know, yes. And not with an eviscerator. Although I suppose his gun does eviscerate things eventually.
I do remember an old novel about a kill team where they made the mistake of putting a Space Wolf and a Dark Angel onto the same kill team.
Oh.
Yeah, they were just constantly digging at each other. It was hilarious.
Yeah. There was a really badass role-playing game called Deathwatch where I played a Space Wolf, and we were fighting against we were on a Tau world, and we needed to kill a diplomat because we wanted to make sure that it went our way for the Imperium.
As you do, yeah.
And so we snuck into his base, and there were stealth suits in there, and we couldn't work out where the stealth suits were, so we were sort of getting shot and sort of diving for cover. And then I had a really bright idea, so I sniffed out where he was, stabbed him with my knife, and obviously his knife doesn't go invisible. My knife doesn't go invisible, so we just tracked the knife around as the stealth suit tried to escape.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you stabbed the Dark Angel.
Oh, no. Although I did lock a salamander in an airlock once and threatened to blow him out of the... so, yeah, that was quite fun. Because he was like, let's save all the innocents. And I was like, that's not our job. So
yes, that's not very, post-human of you.
Exactly, yeah. But alongside the Deathwatch, after that slight deviance, we have the Canoptic Circle, which are defending their tomb world. It is led by a Geomancer, who's that fellow in the middle, backed up by 2 of the Tomb Crawlers, which are his sort of like walking gun platforms. And then you have the Macrosite Warriors, who are sort of lowly forms of Necron warriors who have been summoned from the walls of the tomb world to help defend it. If you've been quite enjoyed the sort of the vibe of Space Marine 2 over the last few months, maybe this could be quite tempting for you.
So you got into the Soul Forge on a voucher?
Yes, pretty much.
That's the coupon.
This is your budget body. Yeah, so.
That's your coupon body.
Yeah, we have Necrons at home.
Necrons at home.
Yeah. You also get options within the set to run this as a PvE game as well. So the new edition of Kill Team also comes with options for you to play it cooperatively. So when you dive into the set, you also get a bunch of Necron warriors and all sorts of different things in there, scarab swarms and things. So you can actually set up games where you play together as your kill team of Deathwatch or Deathwatch and something else against the Necrons. You also get those really nice new terrain pieces for the tomb world itself, with all the Necrons kind of like in hibernation in the walls, which is pretty cool. So maybe break out the airbrush.
It's interesting to see them do Necron terrain as if it's rotten and rubbly. Because normally when it's described in the books, it's just like, oh no, it's just like black, dark basalt walls, perfectly smooth, impossibly, carved to perfect geometric perfection.
Yeah. This is obviously a sort of a
bit of a departure.
But that looks very dull when you come to make it in plastic of everything.
Very true.
Because all you do then is just go and buy 5mm foam core.
I know.
There you go. I'm done now.
But yes, that is the. There was some other stuff for some like squats in 40k, but whatever. I think we've had enough.
That's very high. Just a wee Ben.
We've already talked about dwarves already today.
But they have the big hats. They're not short. You're short.
Yeah, that's true. But nobody likes the Leagues of Votan. They're as bad as the Iron Hands. Jesus. So yes, lots of stuff for Age of Sigmar, lots of stuff for 40k. Let us know what you think about that in the comments down below. Obviously, nice stuff there. Maybe new armies potentially on the horizon. I'll have to wait and see. But there we go.
Right. Let's take a break from this news. Check out some 3D printing. Okay then, Ben. You've been off to Corellia. Visit the shipyards there.
I have indeed. Yes. Were you say something, Justin?
No. I'm just imagining Ben walking around a used spaceship lot, going,
"It's nothing used on Corellia, mate. No, it's all brand spanking new.
Made by Han Solo, some of it.
You want used stuff? You go and see some junker out in the fringe somewhere.
Yeah. But 3D printing is the shiz. We're diving into something super cool. You may have thought that Star Wars Armada and Star Wars X-Wing was dead. I mean, mainly because they don't make it anymore. But there is an awesome fellow on my mini factory by the name of Xenon472 who has their awesome store and tribe called the Slightly Used Spaceships Yard.
Sussy.
Which I think is a great name for a group. And sussy backers. And so this is a collection of ships that have been designed for the aforementioned games. Every month they put up a poll effectively on their tribes, and they ask their fans what they want to work on next. They will always do one Armada piece and one X-Wing piece each month. And this has allowed them to dive deep into a variety of some well-known, some less well-known, some real fringe stuff from the world of Star Wars, all designed to fit into both of those games. So there's a bunch of stuff in there that have been designed to fit in with X-Wing, some very classic things like your regular Z95 headhunters and things like that. You've got your TIE interceptors, or the ones for the Royal Guard. You have your crazy ships in there too that might just be used by traders and all that kind of thing. So if you're looking to put together really interesting scenarios on the tabletop, maybe this would be a really nice way for you to go. Get things like the cruisers or the diplomatic cruiser, have those in the center, flanked by the likes of the Republic or the Empire, and you have to head out and either destroy or protect them on the gaming table. Each of the designs that they've worked on have been designed so they will work with both FDM and resin printers, and all of the various kits are available, both supported and unsupported, depending on which way you want to go with them, however you want to see about setting them up on your 3D printer. And every single one of them has been test printed as well, so they know that they work effectively out of the box, to use a phrase, I suppose, when you get these onto your 3D printers. I think they look great, and considering that Atomic Mass Games just aren't supporting the games anymore, they're sort of like out to pasture. It's really nice that there is somebody in the community. I mean, there are multiple people out there in the community doing something similar to this, as we've seen from other different 3D printing creators. A lot of people doing land-based stuff and all that kind of thing for X-Wing and not Armada, but X-Wing. But I like that there is somebody who is dedicating themselves to effectively filling in the gaps and offering up alternative options for a lot of these sort of, as I say, well-known and slightly more fringe ships within the world of Star Wars. But yeah, some very nice stuff there from Sussy.
I'm liking this. The Firestorm in Wales had a X-Wing tournament last weekend.
Very nice.
That was massively well attended. So
there's loads of people who still love the game. So
I mean, when you've got all the stuff, why would you not? Because there's nothing worse than, I know some people have it in their head, when a game's not supported anymore, the game's dead. Oh, I can never play this game again. Which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But it happens all the time. It's, they're not supporting, therefore I'm not going to play anymore. The Old World, prime example. Whereas you should be looking at going, well, you've got the stuff. Nobody's taking the rules away from you. It won't get any weird scale creep or game power balance creep, whatever. You have a perfectly preserved little insect and amber there with that game, and you can just go ahead and play it without having to ever tweak it. Look at that. Hello.
And then, even then, you had the folks out there who did the fan stuff with the Ninth Age.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that, like, even within this one set, you've got a refitted version of the Venator. So you've got it with different styles. So if you want to match it to particular eras, you've got that to play with, which I think is a really nice touch. And obviously these will paint up piss easy as well.
Oh yeah. Hello Grey.
Yeah.
I have used Halford's primer, and what after that? I've used Halford's primer.
Well, no, I've got fancy. I put a wash on it.
I'm not doing that. You'd have to go back in, color match your Halford's primer to highlight again.
What I think is also quite nice about this is that even if you don't play Armada or X-Wing, you might just be a Star Wars fan.
Executioner.
And if you're just someone who likes Star Wars and likes the ships from Star Wars, you maybe have some of those big tech books that they have where they go into all the nitty gritty of how they work and all that kind of thing.
Hayes technical
manual. This would be perfect for you, because you could go and snap up these, paint them up. Don't bother about having to worry about rules or anything like that. Just have them as really nice pieces to sit on the painting shelf or something instead. Because not everything has to be used for a game. So,
question. Does this person do the bases?
I don't believe so. So you'd have to use them with existing stuff or make your own bits and pieces for X-Wing and Armada.
I know that's something that was very specific about X-Wing was the base that took the template to actually get your movement turning and stuff.
Yeah,
and then your insert with all your stats.
So yeah, they don't do the ancillary stuff, the kind of things that you need for the game, but they do essentially the models. But so you could use these and have them as stand-ins.
Yeah, there exists plenty of companies out there that will do.
Yeah.
Because all you need is 2 pins or pegs or 2 marks. You can do it with paint. Because it's just a square base with I want to say it's like a 12 mil gap at front and back or something like that those things hooked into.
Yeah. And there's lots of people in the community who are coming up with fan rules for all this stuff anyway. So there's a lot of things you can print off and just use with the existing components. Obviously, you will have to have the core sets for X-Wing and that kind of thing to make useful this stuff in a game, but essentially you've got it all there.
That's an odd one. The TIE Black Ops.
Which is, as I say, they really have gone like deep.
yeah. They've done a whittle on some of the stuff.
It's from Expanded Universe bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to do the Katana Fleet. Do the Katana Fleet. You listening?
We'll see if that's next on the voting thing when we.
I bet it won't be. It's from some of the Rogue Squadron.
Anybody
books,
watching this, if you know this person, let them know Jerry wants Katana Fleet.
Yeah, but they never. It was all out of date ships that were just bobbling through hyperspace together. Call it the Ghost Fleet. Yeah. They were all slaved, so when they arrived, they worked like drones. It wasn't that it was particularly good or effective. It's just all of a sudden this fleet from potentially the Old Republic day, just suddenly came out of hyperdrive and then absolutely lamped the shit out of the Imperial fleet. You didn't have to worry.
So that moment of surprise.
You didn't have to worry about anything because there was no crew on any of them. So move this ship and all the other ones do the same. Press the big fire button, they all fire. Bam, bam, bam. Ha, ha, ha.
Cool. One of the things they also do is effectively, there you go, rerun refits effectively. So we saw some of them in the thing there, but like occasionally during a month, they'll be like, which one do you want us to come and revisit and do something different with? So they might come back to like a Corellia and then be like, let's have this so that it's done in a different way, or a battle damaged version or something like that. But there's plenty of scope for them to do all sorts of different things with this.
And obviously, somebody strapped a massive gun to it that they shouldn't have done.
Shouldn't have.
That's the UCM method in Drop Fleet. So,
I like that as a little feature. The open and closed weapon bay.
Yeah, it's a nice touch. Yeah, so like a lot of thought and love has gone into these. There's clearly some passion for Star Wars and, as I say, 3D printing in general. So if you're somebody who is hot on your Star Wars, this might be fun for you to dive into and have some fun with, especially because the Armada ships are pretty chunky. So
Geonosian Pinnace, that's a cool one.
What did you call me?
Nothing. Don't call HR.
But yeah, I mean, they're fairly sizable ships in their own right. So, you know.
But yeah, the detail looks to hold up really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, just a little bit of, rattle can wash over the top. Maybe a little bit of a touch up with some
splash of color here and there.
Splash of color, a bit of dry brushing. Done and dusted, effectively. Maybe do some markings if you want to fit it to a particular rogue-based, rebel-based squadron or something.
I like the Mandalorian ships as well.
Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't mind doing like a full Mandalorian run.
Yeah.
Is that all the Armada stuff together then?
Yes.
To give you an idea.
I don't know if I saw it, but I'd love to see what's his name ship from Andor.
No.
The one that spins and does lasers.
Spins and does lasers.
Yeah, I can't remember what's his name. That's a shame.
I'm intrigued now. Oh, listen,
Luthen ship that does the cool spinny thing with the lasers and carves things up
with the two massive lightsabers. That pop out. Yeah. No, it wasn't in. I would imagine that would have to be in an X-Wing collection.
Yes,
because
it'd be too small.
It would be too small
on an Armada scale. Yeah,
on the Armada scale. Yeah. Anyway,
nice stuff there.
Maybe they'll add it.
Star Wars fans. Yeah, keep an eye on this one. Relatively new, but there's lots of good stuff in there for people to 3D print at home. So, yeah.
Cool beans.
'Tis fancy, and as they say, smancy.
A bit sussy,
right? I think it's time for some more news. Will there be some GW in it?
No.
Even more news, bitches.
All right then, we're back with some news coming from Grey for Now Games in the historical bint.
Yeah.
Moving away from Guards of Traitory's Toll. Not so fantastical this week, Grey for Now Games, are you?
Jerry, they knew you were coming back, mate.
Has announced a new set coming for 0200 hours. This is the Stiff Upper Lip box set. So if you fancied a touch of the 0200 hours but didn't want to be commandoing through occupied territories in Europe, stabbing up Germans, you can now be a German sneaking their way through freed, liberated versions of Europe and stab up British instead. It's good, clean family fun. Or you can go the full, Donald Sutherland and Michael Caine and go for The Eagle Has Landed. Start landing on the coast and attempt to take out radar stations and stuff prior to Battle of Britain and Operation Sea Lion if you're going full what if.
I don't know. Anytime I think of this, I just have Dad's Army stuck in my head. Your name shall also go on the list.
Could do Dad's Army if you wanted. There's 2 sets out there. Wayland do a set, and then Foundry do a really nice set.
First Corps have got one as well.
Have they? Oh, there's a third. But First Corps don't have the characters, do they? They are just Home Guard.
I think they did some. These are the Dad's Army.
Did they? Oh, well, there you go.
So I can't believe it's not miniatures.
Yeah.
So, I think only the Wayland ones may be official.
Why would you want to stab Pike as a Fallschirmjäger? Oh, no, wait. Okay, yeah, maybe we should.
No.
But the expansion obviously gives you everything you need to play when playing as the British. So they've got specific British Century event cards, things like, Time for Brew, which is very met, really, in the grand scheme of things, as your centuries just wander off. Union rules, mate. Have to have a cup of tea now. can't be watching the perimeter right now. You just get away from me, sonny boy.
I want one card that just reads, shut that light out.
and keep calm and carry on. One of the posters that never went up. What to do when the Fallschirmjäger land and start stabbing you up in and around.
If I keep calm, this will be fine.
Yeah. It's the way to do it.
If you ignore them, they'll just think we're very rude and go home.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, all of the figures in here, unlike the previous set, which had the plastics from Wargames Atlantic that were made for it, this is all metals from for Grey for Now. So there's a whole host of bits and pieces you need. Your Fallschirmjäger, obviously armed with a variety of weaponry, MP40s, rifles, the FG42 for a bit of suppressing fire, if you want to go full archer. Suppressing fire. And your British, obviously there's a lot of British figures out there at the moment, but this does add in your sentry types. So you get guard dogs, stens, rifles, and your guys just sort of generally mooching around. Haven't seen anybody smoking a tab. I imagine there should be.
There should be. Yeah.
And considering the way that Grey for Now do these sets, where they'll release them and then they'll do little reinforcement sets that you can add to. I imagine we'll see things like ARP wardens and stuff if they decide to go down the Sea Line British route. Obviously, these are set up to be sort of defending a HQ in France that Fallschirmjäger are attempting to recapture on a bulge-like push or combined arms type of thing. But I would be very surprised if they don't expand it into other interesting ways. Alongside those, you also have casualty markers. So
dead Tommies.
Dead Tommies that you can leave lying around behind you and see whether or not a live Tommy stumbles across it and raises the alarm.
Cool, blimey.
Which is part and parcel. Hey, Ned, no time to sleep now, boy. Give him a kick. Oh no, he's dead.
Ned's had too much of the amber nectar.
Alarm.
How am I going to tell his mum I was round for tea yesterday?
But yeah, if you've looked at $0 before in the past, and we're interested in it, it's a really fun game.
It's great fun, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's such an interesting variation on your standard war game where you are attempting to be as quiet as possible, John, and not just run and gun with brains, John, to alert everybody around the place, John. So
John was playing the John Wick version.
He was very much playing the John Wick version. It did not go well for him. The key to quick espionage-like attacks is stealth. At some point the alarm will be raised, and at that point you can run and gun, but until that, how do you infiltrate the base? How do you do the mission? So it'll be fascinating to see what they do. Obviously, trying to extract a British officer who may or may not have the plans for the upcoming offensive through the rear. That might be, I imagine that something like that's in there. Because you've a lot of very narrative things you can hook onto, narrative scenarios that you can play through. And 0200 hours do that so well, where it's not just kill the opponent, it's extract them. So all of a sudden you've got somebody who's kicking and screaming, and you're having to put one or two people on them to stop them running away or making a fuss. And that means you've got less people as you're attempting to exfiltrate from the base. And, all of these things are good fun. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else comes down the line for this, especially in the way of unusual figures, shall we say. Because, there's so much you can do with 0200 hours in that regards. The fact they've got Fallschirmjäger now, I mean, I kind of want to do the Otto Skorzeni's glider assault where they liberate Mussolini. Things like that, because that is the sort of weird stuff that 0200 hours is built for.
That'd be really good.
I'm not sure who was holding him prisoner. Presumably it would have been the Royalist Italians.
What were you saying there, Justin? Sorry, what was that?
I'm just looking at, and it just occurred to me, you could almost do a parody where you do jackboots on Whitehall.
Yes, you could do.
with the Panzer IV with the drill on the back end.
Yes.
And that's where your Germans are deploying from in stealth.
Take it in whichever way you want, I suppose. Yeah, very good.
It's more modern things of the kids. So yeah, you can pick up a bundle, which has everything you need to play, or you can pick up just things like the reinforcement packs that have the individual, well, not the individual. There's a small blister pack of miniatures, all in the delightful metal, if you're looking to get your hands on them. So a whole host of fun if you want to start playing 0200 hours in a different way. For once, the Axis get to fight back. That's North Africa and Europe. They've been getting a bit of a towing in 0200 hours. And it's something Graham mentioned whenever I was talking to him last year. No, it must have been this year. I'm going to say it was this year.
I think it was this year.
Yeah, that things like 0200 hours. There's still plans for it. In a lot of ways, it's not just, it's been done now and he's moving on to Guards of Traitors Tool, things like it, and Test of Honor. There's a lot of various moving parts that's coming down the line as well. For both
They're
of them.
great mechanics, so it's nice to see the games continue.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's the biggest thing to hook it on, the fact the mechanics work so well, that you can go out into different areas and start to explore some other interesting
Have they done Colditz?
Have they done Colditz, the prisoner of war camp? No.
I mean, that could be a fun one for the system.
Could be an interesting twist on that, I suppose.
Trying to do a prison break.
Yeah. Ooh.
Escape. Don't get shot in the face.
Yeah. It's like the classic board game. So.
It's an interesting one. The Great Escape as well. If you do the Great Escape, eBob had a really nice range of figures for that, including the blot scenery for the entire prisoner of war camp.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Because I've often looked at that by the medium of doing something else. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Sticking in historic and shuffling tangentially to Grey for Now games by the medium of Mr. Hobday Esquire. There is a new 2-player starter set coming for Gangs of Rome 2nd edition, which is particularly fun for 2 reasons. So Footsore miniatures games have got 2nd edition in conjunction with, again, War Games Atlantic and Sarissa. They've put a 2-player starter set together containing everything you need to start skirmishing your way through Rome with your Dominita, Dominus, depending on flavor or harsh participle. I don't know. You are running a gang. After all, the mob is Rome, as they tell me. The 2-player starter set contains the full hardback rulebook that gives you all of the information you need to build your gang. And the idea is you are playing somebody who someday wants to become a senator. And the best way to do that is to drag yourself up through the ranks, kicking and screaming, and by the medium of your gang. Because if you can control an area, then the population will start to put you forward and vote for you, so to speak. It's a good way of doing things in Rome, as we've learned from history. Mm-hmm. If you want to be in charge, then get the people on your side. So the set contains all the bits and pieces you need, your measuring tokens, your cards, your dice, and your paraphernalia, including the lovely new plastic set that Wargames Atlantic did for this, which allows you to do a couple of things. One is make your gang members, but the other thing is make your civilians. Because a big part of Gangs of Rome are those bases of mobs who will either run away or trample over people, depending on how they're feeling. You can spook the crowd and stampede by, shanking somebody right in front of them. Just run them over the top of somebody else's force. I'm not saying that I have done that, but you can do that.
Mobile terrain that's a little bit punchy.
Oh, not a little bit. 100% vicious is what they are.
Throwing someone into the crowd in Blood Bowl. So.
Yeah. Except you can steer this. Some way you can steer this. It also comes with the Forke. Fork. Something. I don't know how Latin's pronounced. Nobody knows how Latin's pronounced. Dead language.
Horus under construction, something like that.
Yeah. As people will know, that is the toilets. So
there you go.
You too can have your public shitters.
Oh, latrine.
Terrible things happen in toilets. So
They do. Yeah. There you are with your sponge on a stick, cleaning yourself, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and shanks you.
The Tywin Lannister approach to this.
And then, lo and behold, there's a stampede out of the bogs across the top of everybody else's.
Yeah. So you can tell which one they've came from just from the paint on the floor.
Well, at least in this case, it's not being used yet, so it's moderately clean in comparison. They've done obviously a lot of stuff with Sarissa before. There's a whole Rome to be built, Lloyd.
There is,
and with a lot of them, they would also release scenarios that are specific to the building in question. So
temples, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So it really does make Gangs of Rome. Rome is as much a part of the game as your gang. The buildings that people go in and out of, how you interact with them, the people who are wandering up and down the streets, all of that is key, because you're not playing a skirmish game in a sterile environment. Mordheim, it's gang on gang because everybody ran away when a massive rock fell out of the sky. So it's an empty town. It's an empty city. It's just ruins. And a lot of skirmish games are like that. It's, two groups of people meeting somebody in the middle of nowhere. But in Gangs of Rome, the whole thing is you're having to deal with the hoi polloi as they walk around and how they react to you. And you have to deal with the very fact that you're attempting to shank somebody, steal something, whatever it is, and how the people perceive you. And if they perceive you badly, you could be mobbed to death, literally. But at the same time, you can also use the fact that the streets are crowded with people to enter into a mob base and disappear for a turn, assuming you've not running around carrying some sort of massive weapon that's easily noticeable, or you have to dump that and then run. So it's a fascinating little system. Also, the Roman numeral die are quite funky as well.
I will also say that the set comes with enough for you to build. I think it's 30 miniatures you get, so you can build your gangs and your mobs. But Wargames Atlantic have recently, or will very recently, be releasing the Gladiator set that they worked on with folks behind
Blood on the Sands.
Blood on the Sands. So you do have some Gladiator-esque stuff in the Gangs of Rome set.
Yeah.
But if you want to really hone in on, I've paid one of my gladiators to come and kick your ass, then you can use that plastic set alongside this one to unleash them on the tabletop as well. So.
I'm looking forward to that, because as far as I'm aware, these are completely intercompatible.
Yeah.
So, being able to stick some armor, scudums, that sort of thing on. I know you can have a retired gladiator as a character in Gangs of Rome anyway, but you can also then just get your hands on the weaponry and equipment to use with it. Really nice to see a new 2-player starter set, and leaning into the fact that that terrain is key. Sort of pushing that collaboration with Sarissa.
Yeah.
Super
cool.
To get yourself a shitter.
Mm.
I'm just wondering what will come next.
If they do that as a separate kit and you give it to someone for Christmas, oh my God, it's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, it's 100%. Or I just like Lloyd to knuckle down and build and paint all of my room.
Yeah.
Any chance, any time, son. It's not getting any younger.
Warren did show us the song.
Yes, it's a great song. Thank you for that, Ewok Kebab.
It's terrifyingly good.
Yes.
Whoever has that, repost it for folks.
Well, it's in the Discord. Join us on our disco.
Just have someone bring it up to the top so people don't have to go hunting.
They can go and hunt it.
All right.
What am I? Google. No. Look for it yourselves, people.
No, Jerry's Bing.
Bing, the best way to Google stuff.
Fair.
It's indifferent to what you want to search for.
Fair. Probably runs Internet Explorer.
It's not the best way from Ask Jeeves, if anybody ever used that back in the day.
That's an old one.
Right. Now, Justin, some fantastical bits and pieces.
Yes, so the folks over at Archon have 4 new offerings for us for your fantasy gaming or fantasy RPGs. Beginning with something that I quite like, which is a bighorn demon named Bife.
Yeah.
That's the only way to say it. Bife.
He's great.
Yeah, he is really big, beefy, detailed. I love the idea of just, he's walking around with this big sack of human heads going, look, I got him.
Mm-hmm. He's super badass.
Yeah, another beautiful one from the Dungeons and Lasers range. And I believe we have a Lloydie shot as well.
See up his bum.
Oh, no, you can't see up his bum, but you can see all the additional detail that the guys have put into the sculpt. So it's really, really nice. The only thing I kind of sort of maybe disagree with is the color scheme, that big red color scheme.
What would you go with for him then, do you think?
Well, I've given Jerry a couple of links right at the very end.
Oh, yes.
Is that what they're for? Oh, okay.
Yes, of a show that I was watching recently. So that dark, purpley, grey-skinned vibe,
right?
Which was, to me, it looked really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do like a lot of more paler colors on them. I think it would look really good.
No, it could definitely work. Yeah.
For anyone wondering, this show is K-pop Demon Hunters. Don't ask questions, just go watch it.
It's very fun.
It is. The music's really good in it.
Yeah.
I don't know, that more pale pastel-y look.
Green eyebrows on him, though.
I'm okay with that.
Bring out the furry stuff.
I don't know. I think that paler, more pastel look could look really, really good on him.
I was looking at this guy because Balor was the one that they did recently to this guy, who was a very good sort of like analog for
Balrog.
Yeah, like a Balrog type figure that you could use in your armies. But because I collect, oh god, he's cool.
Yeah.
But because I like Khorne, and I'm a massive fan of Khorne, I think Baif would be quite nice as like an alternate.
Are you okay, Jerry? Are you okay?
But I really love the idea of doing him in the red, to use him as like an alternative demon prince for a Khorne army would be pretty badass.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You do you, I will say. That was an interesting build.
Well, I remember they did show it off at Expo where they had actually put lighting into it, which kind of blew Ben's mind and my mind. On top of that, I'm going to butcher this one. Gervais, the Etten, is the next offering they have. So we have a big 2-headed giant.
Super cool. Oh.
Yeah. So lots of like touches of Norse styling and designs. And I know, Ben, you were thinking, he's just rocking around the world causing havoc. I would like to, if I was using this in a role-playing session, I would do the one of us tells only truth, the other tells only lies thing. And your players could role-play to actually maybe try and convince him to help.
That'd be cool.
So whichever of the 2 heads you convince is either lying to you about saying, yes, I'll help you, or actually is going to help you. I think you could have some really fun moments with it. And again, just chock full of really nice details.
What the hell were they?
Massive chickens.
Yes, giganto turkeys.
Or turkeys,
yeah. Something very well fed. And, he's got a demon skull strapped to his back, so he can put the work in.
Or he just likes skulls because he's standing on a Cyclops.
He is.
This is fair.
Yeah.
This is fair. It's maybe his aesthetic for his home cave.
Yeah. I do like Ettins, though. We don't see enough Ettins, so it's nice to see one of them popping up.
Yeah.
Cool.
As well as that, we have 2 unit boxes. So we have a skeleton crew with 18 miniatures. And let's be honest, you're always going to find a reason to have undead skeleton warriors in your games at some point in your gaming life. And these have a really nice look to them where it's just really dirty, ramshackly, kind of mixed up, mashed up weaponry that's not in the best shape. I quite like it.
Yeah, I like that they were generic enough that you could just use them in anything. So they fit in with a lot of different aesthetics, and you get loads of different weapon types in there as well. So you can mix things up if you are using it for a role playing game. So
or if you want to do an undead version,
18 in the full set.
So it must be 3 sprues of 6 then, because there's 12 there, and they repeat.
There you go.
Yeah, but if you also
get 3
wanted
crossbows and multiples thereof.
Yeah, if you want to have a bit of play about, you could take Guards of Traitor's Toll and make it the Undead Edition.
Well, your undead civilians.
Yeah, do undead civilians, and these guards are sent out by the necromancer to make sure they're not fermenting rebellion against their overlord.
Yeah,
clearly how this goes.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have the Infernal Imps. We'll get 16 of these little dudes in a box. And
I love these.
They're itsy bitsy, teeny weeny, cute stabbies.
They're super nice.
Yeah. And again,
you paint them in different ways as well, which is always good. So
there are so many ways you can paint these up. And just again, imps, you're going to come up against them. They're a generic common monster that you will come up against. So being able to get a nice chunk of them in one set is what I'm really liking with the idea behind this.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
And gorgeous plastics, as always, from the folks at Archon. They do some really nice stuff.
I think they come with those textured bases as well.
They do, yeah. They're all attached to the sprues. So,
because I was looking at this set, and I think you actually get, because of the way the sprue works, you get a ridiculous amount of bases, more than you have imps in there. Because it was like, we're not cutting a sprue down. you get a sprue. The sprue contains this many bases. I don't care how many's in the box. We could have it. I'm not going to.
Well,
it's a lot of clipping.
There's an idea I like, because if you have themed bases like this for your monsters and you're getting extras, if you're buying heroes from other places, you can put them on the same base as the monster, so they all match in.
Yeah,
which is it's a feature. It's a feature.
Yeah,
it's not obstinance.
I do like the standard Skellybobs.
Yeah, they're
very
great.
good for things like Frostgrave and things like that, where you just need a random amount of skeletons with
they're nailed on
a variety of weapons.
Yeah,
I would have to go in and remove the axes from the other 2, because it's okay on one.
Yeah, you can't have 3 of them.
But
with
if you've got
axes
3 of them with axes in the head, it starts to look a bit weird.
Yeah. Whenever it's something generic like, there's 3 guys with horned helmets, that at least makes sense, rather than 3 of them have been hit in the exact same slot in the head with an axe.
Sucks to be him.
The barbarian has OCD.
I mean, it's the way of it, isn't it? It's the way of it. Right. I think that's enough news for now. We shall have a swish and come back and take a look at some crowdfunding.
Did you win one of our prizes? Find out on our prize claim center over at OnTableTop.com. Here we list all our previous prizes and those who have won. If you see your username, fill out the form to claim your prize. All prizes must be claimed within 30 days.
Okay, then we're going to be checking out a GameFound campaign for Teburu Dungeon, Sword and Sorcery. So, Teburu is the system.
Yes.
Sword and Sorcery is the game,
yes,
which already exists in a board game fashion.
By Ares,
Yes, but this is a new way of playing. We'll start with that, plus a new campaign to play.
Yes.
So if you already had Sword and Sorcery, while the components, the miniatures and the like are the same, there is a new campaign, a new storyline to run through in here. Yeah. So you know more about the technical ins and outs of this than I do, Justin.
Yes.
So I'll let you explain what is going on here
and how it works.
Okay, so I will handle the Teburu side of things. Jerry, you handle the sword and sorcery side of things.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know what Teburu is, it is a game board that uses RFID technology to actually input information into a tablet that's acting as a digital DM. So, a lot of the things that you might get, say you're playing a traditional style where you'll read a text box and get a bit of information you shouldn't have, and go, oh, well, I'm not stealing the stuff off of the altar there because that'll do bad stuff and give me debuffs, and I don't want that. You know, that's all hidden away from you until you actually make the decision and actually choose to roll the dice.
Mm-hmm.
As well as that, the way it works out is the app is telling you how you're laying out your game board. So what enemies are where, what loot is where, what say a tile is on fire, if that's on fire. Whenever you actually move your character onto the tile with the RFID technology, that tells, oh, he's moved into fire. I will now apply that status effect to the stat cards of your miniature, and you will start taking that tick damage and such. Because also whenever you move into certain locations, you'll get your story triggers. So it will have like a fully narrated campaign where all of those story moments are read out to you. So if you don't like reading, if you've got, touch of dyslexia, it makes it a little more difficult for you. This takes that away from you. I think the only thing I don't particularly like is the way the AI just makes all the decisions for what the enemies are doing. So the way normally you have a built-in AI for, say, an imp, and it will say, okay, we'll attack character with lowest health. If they're both, say you have two characters that are on the same like threat level, it'll seem to make the decision in this version, and you don't get that, well, let's make the best of a bad situation. So I do feel there's a little loss of agency there for your player. But overall,
you can't game the system.
Well,
because it sounds like you're gaming the system there.
Well, it's how it normally plays in a traditional one, where you'll make the choice of, do we want to game the system, as Jerry says,
game the system, or play it properly,
or do we take the absolute worst and play hard mode? In this, you don't seem to get that option. So, but overall, it does work really well. And one thing I really do like is for this, you've got that core conversion played. So if you already own the old game, you can just get the components you need to actually take your miniatures from the old game and actually start loading them in. The other thing is the dice in this are actually smart dice. So you'll charge them on the board. They then connect to the board and then connect to your tablet via Bluetooth, which also connects to other devices. So you can have up to 5 devices that are acting as your controller, where you've got all of your stat cards, all of your abilities, any items you've picked up, things like that.
So do you have to manually? You say you don't have to manually input results that you roll on the dice. It just sort of knows what you've rolled.
The dice will specifically read. Now you do have to give them. Well, in the set we had, you have to give them a good shake to wake them up, and you do need to make
everything but Jesus out of them.
And you do need one habit that I had while playing was I'm really paranoid about the dice running out of power halfway through a game. So I was always, whenever I was done rolling, putting them back onto the charging dock.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah.
For the wireless charging that they have. But overall, really fun idea. And it's very, very close to being that perfect hybrid. Just not quite there yet for me. But it looks really good, and it should be a lot of fun for folks.
It was a prototype.
It was, yes.
So they
I'm sure they will be improving.
They have Vampire the Masquerade already.
Yes.
I think it's the first game, but they've shown off things like D6 style. This was using D10.
Yes.
And it looked like they were possibly 3D printed shells. They weren't production, if that makes sense. So potentially whenever the production copy comes in, there won't be that. I'm going to give myself a heart attack shaking. And whenever we played through it, there were, I don't have any problem with the AI doing AI things. And I don't mean the modern version of AI where somebody asks it to write a novel. I mean, the fact that when something attacks, it's not even when it attacks, to be brutally honest. When you are finished your turn, there is a chance something else might interrupt.
Yeah.
Or when it's the Overlord's turn, something may activate, nothing may activate, all the things may activate. So you'd roll on one table to work out what's going to happen, who or what is activating or isn't. And then you'd roll, because once they activate, it might be lowest health, highest armor, highest health, wounded, attack 2 people, whatever it happens to be. So if you think about the multiple tables you would have to roll on just to find out whether or not the monsters are acting and how they're going to act, that does all of that.
That I like.
Because it's a prototype, it was running through that super quickly.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see what was going on.
Yeah, that was one of the bits of
until all
feedback
of a sudden it was going, I'm going to lamp your paladin.
Yeah.
Or
this has happened. We're now rolling dice again.
Yeah.
This is where we slow down to talk to you.
So taking that out of it is good. It's borderline. So I've seen somebody saying it was almost like playing a mobile game, because you've got all of that going on and you get the little strikes and stuff. It does look like that on the screen. But the fact that the system behind it, the Teburu system, is a standard setup. So that board is the same as the board for Vampire. The dice may change depending on what game's going on it. I can see that for both solo players and people who like the fact that they're getting a story told to them as they play, could open up an awful lot down the line as well. So there's a few wrinkles to iron out as far as the actual production and mechanics go. Yeah. But it does all the things like the
status effect, housekeeping, and things like that. Because how many times have you went, oh, I shouldn't have been doing anything this turn. I finished my turn and I should have been bled out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it handles all of that.
Yeah.
And the dashboards, what you would have a player dashboard, is on your phone. So there's obviously a lot of components have been removed because it's all being handled by that side of things.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting concept for the mechanics behind it. If you've played Sword and Sorcery prior to this, the game hasn't changed. All they've done is
Sword and Sorcery.
All they've done is, in fact, I think even the miniatures are the same miniatures as the Sword
classic
and Sorcery.
Immortal Souls.
They just have
that's why they have that upgrade set, because if you already have it.
So in that regards, it is still a dungeon crawling board game, noticeably so. It's just whether or not you want to do all of the bookkeeping and heavy lifting. The fact that you can pause this, save it, go away, come back and finish it off some other day without having to then stick all the tokens on and status effects and that sort of thing, because it's all saved.
It'll save your table layout, your character statuses, your monster statuses, how much gold you have, how many souls you've gathered.
The thing that I quite liked from watching your Let's Play and sort of seeing what I've seen on the GameFound campaign as well is that it still retains a lot of the kind of board gamey element to it. Still putting down tiles, you're still moving your character, you're still rolling dice, you're still doing all those things that you would expect. It's just kind of removing a little bit more of that busy work, as we were saying. So,
the housekeeping.
It's the card drawers or the dice rolling on tables or whatever for the monsters. Since you're playing not competitively, cooperatively or solo. So all of that goes out the out the window and into the worlds of the ones and zeros in a digital style.
They have designed it in such a way that you can play with a single device or multiple devices. So say you're someone who only has the one tablet and you get it in, you can run it off the one tablet as well. So don't worry about that.
And you can, if you want to know how it all works, you can actually watch our Let's Play, which is over on the GameFound campaign page. So see how it all works.
We got the top slot. Yay!
And I mean, there's a load of stuff that's in there in the campaign as well. If you want to expand.
Yes, there is.
Beyond the core set. So there's additional heroes, additional monsters. Look, you can go dice tray. And
what is the LED ring for, I wonder?
It's to play Simon Says.
Oh, I thought it was Bop It.
Yep, it's all of that. I will say, when you're looking at this, be careful of the pledges, because some things like the upgrade pledge will give you the dice and the base things to put onto your existing heroes, but doesn't include the Teburu board that goes under. So that's a separate
pledge.
Separately. There is like an all-in bundle as well, but if you're looking to upgrade, keep an eye. But otherwise, you can see some really nice miniatures.
Master enemies.
Yeah, they're all good in the hood, as the man says. They're Shay, who was played by Shay.
Yeah, Shay was played by Shay.
We seemed it would make life much simpler rather than going, Shay, it's your turn. No, not you, Shay. Justin Shay.
Yeah. Are you activating Shay?
Yeah. So if you're looking to get into this, it's all massively funded already, and there's still a month to go on it. And I think it's one of these things where there'll be some people looking at it going, it's solving a problem that doesn't exist. And there are other people who are going, this is exactly what I've been looking for my board games in a long time. It just depends on where you come down on that, that line, really. You'll either absolutely jump on it or you'll go, well, I'm quite happy just turning cards and rolling dice.
Well, it's something I do find with some games, you do get death by token. It's so many different statuses and this and that and this and that. And I have to twist and turn my card to count my cooldowns.
To put it in perspective, I play Frosthaven, and Frosthaven is an endless sea of tokens and cards and flips. And it frankly adds stupid amounts of time to the game when I can just set an app up and it'll track all the enemies. So it depends which, as you say, Jerry, which way you come down on things for this. So,
you can also have your true fog of war in your story, Ben.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Look at them jumping from IDF thing to IDF thing.
Yeah, and that was the other one. So they have that little tile with the question mark. That's a smart tile. So whenever you move up there, you remove that to actually trigger the next part of exploration. To actually say, I am now looking into this next room.
That's cool.
And it takes you through whatever narrative there is, or if you go through that, is there like a tripwire? Did we send the barbarian through and did he walk on it, or was it the sneaky road who's actually got a chance to maybe not die to the trap?
Oh, nice.
That's the other thing about it being, I suppose, mapped by AI, is there's things that we won't have seen in the scenario because we didn't do something or we did do something. So I think Shay went into one of the rooms and there was a tripwire and they skirted it. If we'd thrown somebody else in there first, would they have got a face full of plank? Or would they have had a chance to try and dodge around it?
Would your opponents have got a bonus round or something?
Yeah. And you just don't know. Likewise, there's a little altar where you can choose to steal stuff off it or leave it as is. Again, you don't know what the effect of that is before you do it. And there may or may not be consequences that you're unaware of. So, it's all in there.
Does leave you guessing, which I think's a fun part of it.
Look, there we go.
There we are.
So 28 days left on it. Hugely funded.
Oh yeah, it's on track to go 1,000% funded.
And if you want to do more about the system, you can go and have a nosy for the Vampire the Masquerade one, because it's been out for a while, which will show off that in all its rampant glory.
I'd love to get it in to give it a go.
You can buy it. Nobody's stopping you. Right. I think that's us done for this week.
Yes.
We shall away until Sunday when we return over at OnTableTop.com for our XLBS with our Cult of Games members. If you're not already a cultist, join us. Join us. You can do it with a 30-day free trial. See what it's like. See what it's all about.
We have Kool-Aid.
We'll see you again next Friday.
No.
Always drink the Kool-Aid. Always.
No.
Kool-Aid.
I don't trust the English.
Until next Friday, have a great week of gaming. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.